Afternoon all. Right, so we're going to be building a funky little thing. I haven't thought of a name for it yet, but it's kind of like a scaffolding house with boxcars. But firstly, it's my birthday, so we will have to sing Me Happy Birthday. So, on a 1 and a 2, happy birthday to Davey. Happy birthday to Davey. For the love of fuck, you better be singing or I will cut you. Happy birthday, dear Davey. Happy birthday to you. Yay! You better have sang. I'll know if you didn't sing. All those builds for you and you couldn't even sing for my birthday, you bastards. I'm 29, if you're curious. So begins the countdown until 30, where I have a... Wow, not really a midlife crisis. A third life crisis, assuming I live to 90, which I most definitely will not. Right, okay. So let's pop this in here. Yes, I'm well aware I sound a lot younger. Some people even claim I sound 14. I don't sound 14 at all, you're being a tard. But I do sound a lot younger than I actually am. Right, okie dokie. So I quite like this. I've been experimenting with kind of the various ways you can snap things. I am going to have this a little bit weirder shaped. I actually built this somewhere else, so it might be a tough squeeze. Now, the slight issue here is I'm going to have this, but it's going to be open underneath, so technically they can still rest there. That's my reasoning. I might actually push it a little bit closer, actually. Because basically, for those who don't know, I haven't spent a huge amount of time in 10 Pines, you get, Lucas is his name? The wandering trader who sells armor comes to the area, and him and his little crew rest outside that fire. However, I might be able to solve the issue, because I might put a trading post behind the settlement, and that should hopefully change the position that they rest in, because we've obviously got that campfire, and I don't want them to rest there, and I'll just generally be annoying. So I've been experimenting around with kind of stuff. I didn't realise that you could snap other things inside this. It's a bit... The scaffolding is quite excitable. You probably noticed already when I was fucking around there, that it is just so eager to please, which means that it has a habit of just snapping just every area. I really like the way that you can actually snap these on the top of here. Well, it actually snaps to that, but it doesn't look stupid snapped above the scaffolding, which is pretty cool. Now, also, you can... I might have to put it here now. You can also, what am I saying? So, basically, I'm going to put a door on, basically. Now, I can have it too. I want a power door, because this is my little kind of, like, another... I've got loads of... Basically, a lot of my settlements to be sole purposes to be doing chems. And I could snap this on here like this, or I could snap this on here like that. I'm going to snap that door like that. And it looks pretty cool. I won't be able to fit this in there, but it's fine. Can I squeeze? Can I squeeze? No. Can he squeeze? So I actually built this in Spectacle Island originally. That's right. We'll just plop something on the front there. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Be fine. We'll do that in a sec. Right, so let's firstly, I need to quickly wire this up so it's powered. Do I has enough? I do. Look at that. Come on. Come on, love. Let's just put a wee thing at the top here. I really like this wooden powered door, and I want to get more use out of it, because I think it looks better than the other ones. This going up here like this. I'll tidy this up at some point. Can't be asked now because lazy. It's fine. I do not want to attach there like that because that's stupid. I've been doing this a lot with like experimenting with... Oh, you're going to be an absolute knob jockey, aren't you, you bastard? It's fine. I've experimented a lot with just kind of how various things snap together. I might want to actually. And it's quite interesting, just how various things snap together, and just kind of maybe just, like, just for example, like the boxcars. It just never occurred to me that I could snap them on top of the scaffolding. It didn't even enter my mind to even, you know, check. So this is kind of a house, kind of a. Like I said, initially the idea of this was actually for it to be a watchtower. And it can work the same. Also, to note, this will make an amazing survival playthrough house. You can imagine it setting up somewhere like, somewhere slightly abandoned. Fuck it, on Spectacle Island, perhaps, or just that kind of place. And I think it would look pretty cool. So it's quite grand. We're gonna right. Just experimenting around with what things work. Let's have that like that. So we'll have a little bit of a platform area on the top. That way we can actually reach the switch without, you know, getting a little bit twatty. I don't know. God, I love this kind of boxcars. They make me so happy. Words cannot describe. I'm gonna have, just for the sake of the, I can't be bothered to actually have that. Place the scaffolding railing on a weird place. We're just gonna have it here. I place this deliberately quite lower so I can have the platform going off the ramp, because I really like using the ramps rather than the stairs. So I've kind of sunk this a little bit so I can just have one. Don't be a dickhead. Why are you gonna be that guy? What a knobhead. I absolutely love the platforms so much. Sorry, the platforms. My brain is frazzled. Birthday, shut up. The ramps. They make me happy. Because it just looks so much cooler like that than if I maybe perhaps had put some stairs. That is actually a little bit, but not very much. Floating, but not very much that even noticeable. It's just when you walk up it. Can I have a double? Why are you gonna be that guy? Why are you gonna be that guy? Right, so. I quite like this so far. Now, I do have to block that off. But to be honest, because it's kind of like slightly a ramshackle area, I'm not too bothered if it looks a little bit messy. Now, I can actually just do that. But it looks a little bit stupid. I can't do that. Normally, you won't have this problem, because obviously my issue is the fact this is actually next to... Basically, it's going to be really messy. Don't worry, we are going to cover this up, and this will look good. Trust in Davey. But this is actually right next to that house. But with the perks of the pillar glitch, we can actually just pop this in as we please. I do have to go out here, though, so it does not grab everything and be a little bit of a knob. I'll use that rug. Oh, note on the rugs. Don't use this one. Use this one. I've been using these ones for years. Well, not years, 6 months. And I realised they actually use up one piece of rubber, which, because you end up burning through a lot of rugs, you can end up actually using hundreds of rubber. Whereas if you use this one, it just uses cloth. A quick Davey tip. The only reason I use the other one is because it's just easier to grab. But I realised this the other day. I was like, why have I been using that other rug when I have this glorious rug here? Why? Because I'm a moron, that's why. Okay, I'm going to plug that hole up with some railings. Be quickly awkward to get up there. The good thing about this settlement as well is because it's so small, it's literally, this is the only structure. Because I'm not sure if I'm going to do... I might do a tour of here. I'm undecided. The reason being because I've already technically done a 10 Pines. But I guess I could just, you know... Actually, no, fuck it. I will do a 10 Pines tour because it seems silly not to. I always forget. Can I use the gravel? Yeah, I can. That's cool. So I can then do that, which is cool. I'm not going to do it in that order. So basically what I'm going to do, because that is well clevers, is we're going to plug up the top with some railings. Now, these don't have to look particularly straight. Actually, you don't want them to look particularly... like, they just need to plug up the hole, so... kind of haphazardly. It just looks like it's been nailed on, really. It doesn't actually, not to miss. I'm actually going to use the other one. I think this might be one of my favourite settlements, just because of the fact of how... just how awesome it is. It's just such a blank canvas, and it's one of those ones I said in the last video that can just, like, absolutely crap. But with just a little bit of love, it can actually be one of my favourite settlements for just looking absolutely awesome. There you go. Bump, bump, bump. Is that high enough? I think it might be... oh no, we're good. I don't even know if we need... no, that's fine. Here we go. There we go. It looks a bit messy, actually. I can straighten that off. I'm not going to bother straightening off, because that's not important. As you can see already, it just is such a weird-looking area. But you can picture this in another settlement. It just makes such a cool little simple survival house. You know, it's a surprisingly decent amount of space, especially if you're not cramming it in an area like this. It can look pretty grand. And I purposely like to use these things because I don't want extra doors. But there it is. A really small little house build that I like. It's probably one of my favourites. Like, it, especially when it's combined with other buildings. Look how much detail that has in it. I'm actually going to totally take those off. That was a terrible idea. Sorry for wasting your time. It's my birthday. Shut up, I'm allowed. It actually looks better like that. Yeah, it looks better like that. Well, there we go. We've now learned that that looks shit. But yeah, I hope you guys liked that. It was a wee little video and a wee little, I'm so fucking happy with that. Oh god, that looks so good. You're going to see a lot of these. It's like, think of it as like an updated version of my, you know, filler shack, as I call it. And just with the doorway like that, it looks absolutely grand. So yeah, I hope you guys like that. I'm going to get really drunk. So I will have a video up on Saturday. I might do a tour on this. That'll be up on the weekend probably as well, but I'm going to do another video. Not sure what. As always, follow me on Twitter, @norespawns, if you want to see what I'm working on right now. And see me get stuck over this. Fuck, I need to put a fucking ramp over there. Follow me on Twitter if you want to see what I'm up to, or just kind of send me pictures and stuff, or just generally want to and have a natter. And I will talk to you lovely people soon. I have a day off on Friday, and I'm not making a video until the weekend, so enjoy your Friday evening and weekend too. Take care.